We are doing a interview with Jane, who is a client of mine, and this is just a quick summary of what she's currently achieved with her pretty much 10 kilos of weight loss in the time that we've trained together. So we pretty much got to that point just on about 12 weeks. And I think we've been training for about 4 to 5 months now. And the weight loss has slowed down as you get towards the end of a weight loss phase, which is completely normal. But firstly, we're going to just talk about Jane, how she's done it, what she's found has been good, what she's found has been crap, and just get her experiences from her point of view in terms of how she's gotten to where she is today. How are you, Jane?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good. So tell us about yourself. How old are you? What do you do for work? What do you do for fun? Just give us an idea of who you are.
Well, I'm 29 years old,
Yep.
sadly. It feels really weird to say that still. I work in a bank. I've been there for probably 8 years now, pretty much my work life.
Yeah.
Then outside of that, before now, I sort of didn't really do much. It was come home, watch TV, laze about, and do nothing. So,
Yep.
But now, a lot more active now, which is great, and feel a lot better for it.
Yeah, awesome. And so since the time that we've been training together, what have your results been?
Well, obviously I've significantly got weight, almost about 10 kilos now in that time frame. I've become a lot stronger and more confident when going to the gym, as that was never a thing for me. I'd sort of walk on the treadmill and run out. It was embarrassing to be in there, but now I feel that I can walk in there confidently and enjoy going to the gym, really.
Yeah, and you start to get the guilty feels if you don't actually get your sessions in.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, last week, for instance, or this week it was, didn't go on Tuesday night with you, so ended up going at 6 o'clock in the morning, which was very intense.
And it's different training. Like, and I know I spoke to you about this when we trained, but it's a different intensity, just changing your schedule. So training in your usual nighttime compared to just switching it up to the morning, how much your strength just changes just because you're out of your normal schedule training, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it was bizarre, but I felt really good for the day, so at least that was a plus.
Yes. Well, you never know. You might become a morning session person.
Sorry about
But
that.
about that, I know. Don't worry. If I didn't have clients in the morning, I would not get up at all. So are you, firstly, I just want to ask, are you happy with the results you've gotten so far?
Definitely. I'm happy with especially the weight loss. I'm feeling a lot better, clothes fit again,
Yeah.
which is probably a big bonus. But now I guess it's kind of just working on defining everything from here going forward.
Yeah, of course. And
Rather than just getting there and going back to what I was.
yes, that's the easy part's losing the weight. The hard part's maintaining. It's a fine balance. It's like a tightrope walk. So take us just back before we started training, what were you doing before our PT?
Well, I was lucky to even go to a gym at all.
Yeah.
I would pretty much go, as I said, I'd walk in, I'd brace myself, look around, want to use all the equipment, had no idea what to do, so I would just end up walking on the treadmill for about 20 minutes and then I would go home. So really, in hindsight, I went to the gym, but it didn't really do anything. Nothing was helping.
Yeah.
Download the app tracker for calories and stick to it for probably a couple of days and then cheat your way through the rest of the week.
That's right.
So hence why there's a bit of a difference of what I've lost from what I am now. So.
Yeah. Calories don't lie, as you found out.
Pretty much.
And what would you say was, so obviously we started our training. So just for everyone who ends up watching this, Jane trains with me 1 session per week, and then she trains by herself a further 2 times per week with her sessions that she does. And then optional cardio. So outside of our 3 sessions, she does anything extra that she feels like she wants to. What would you say would be the biggest obstacle in your mind going from not doing coaching to doing coaching? So what would have stopped you from taking up coaching? What was holding you back up until you signed up?
What stopped me, there's probably a couple of things is, well, my partner is a trainer, so I felt like I should have just been able to ask him anything. And he can tell you to do something, but you never listen to your partner anyway. So
yeah,
that didn't really work for me. And the other thing was, you always just felt like you could do it on your own. Like if you wanted to do it, you could do it. But I've found that having a trainer and using you is really helped, because I can also see everyone else's progression, that you've done before. So obviously whatever you're doing is working.
Yeah.
So just getting in the mind frame of, he obviously knows what he's doing. I'm not paying for crap, which is sort of where my mind was. Why pay for it when I've got it in my living room? But yeah, I guess that was sort of a big thing that stopped me as well. Yeah. I thought I could do it myself.
Yeah. That's good. And then most people do, and they spin their wheels for months and months and months. And even people who are sometimes educated in the fact that they know it's calories in, calories out. They have a weight training program to do, but sometimes it's just the accountability. So just having someone that you have to check in with, someone to just do your calories for you, knowing that if it's not in the log in the diary, then I get to see it. And you're like, oh crap, well, Shannon's going to see it. If it's not up to date, then he's going to tell me off, like your protein. All right, it's a work in progress.
Have you noticed?
Protein. We don't talk about protein. It's all right.
No.
So in terms of the benefits of doing the training, so obviously we've lost weight, which is fantastic, which is really good. What would you say some of the other benefits have been going along with actually doing proper coaching compared to just doing it by yourself, or even just people making comments, or day-to-day living, groceries, carrying it gets easier? What would you say some of the other benefits would be?
Well, definitely being accountable to someone else. Like that's a big push for me. I did say to a few people that if I didn't have a coach, I don't think I would have stuck with it this long, even getting the result. So I'm sort of at the point where it's just natural for me to come in and see you, and that's just normal now. I've also felt that just the day-to-day feeling, like I used to feel always quite lethargic and tired and exhausted and bored, because you get home, you lay on the couch, you do nothing. You're exhausted from being exhausted. As well as my well-being, really. Like I always felt sick a lot, to be honest. Like my stomach was always upset. Obviously not eating the right food.
Yes.
That has helped within this. Like I always feel like I want to go to the gym on the weekend. I sort of work my weekends around that, as opposed to fitting time in for it. That's just a must do on a weekend now. But strength is a big thing. We get really big bags of dog food, and normally I'm exhausted by the time I get to the car. Do that with no issues now.
No help from Kirk.
But yeah, don't need Kirk's help anymore. Just little things like that you notice majorly makes a big difference to you and how you're feeling.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I understand, because I was in the same boat as you were, and I used to be overweight, and it sucked. But once you get results, it's so much better. Once you actually get results. And what would so just give us a day in the life of what a typical day would look like for you, or a typical training day for you would look like. So you wake up in the morning, what sort of foods do you eat? What would a day in work look like? And then when would you train? And then when would you go to bed?
So obviously wake up in the morning, you get ready for work, do the weigh-in. It's kind of a daily thing for me now. We'll forget every so often. So I don't normally have anything before I leave the house. I'll also have a coffee once I get to work. Later in the day, about for lunch and stuff, I'll probably have like a yogurt or a soup, nothing too extreme. because I do find that I eat more at night time. So I try and save my calories essentially for later in the day. And then it would just normally be veggies and food for some kind of, dinner like that, which I'll have after training, obviously. So I'd go train, do that session, about half an hour or so, come back, eat, and then pretty relaxed for the rest of the afternoon.
Yeah, nice. And I'll also note that Jane eats the same ice cream I do. And I think for the first 6 weeks, she ate ice cream every night.
Yeah. Which is really bizarre, thinking that you can lose weight eating ice cream.
Yes. It's calories in, calories out.
That's right. True.
And it blows people's minds, like the first time that they realize that there's no good and bad foods, and you can have these things within moderation. If you treat like treats, and you have 80% whole foods, 10 to 20% junk, you don't have to deprive yourself on a weight loss diet. And a weight loss diet isn't forever. So obviously you're going away soon to the UK, and then you'll eat up pretty close to maintenance calories, and that will be somewhere probably in the range of about 2,000, which is huge compared to what your weight loss calories would be.
I don't know what calories now.
Yeah. And it's like a learning curve, but once you get the hang of it and you can justify what calories are worth eating, then you can have a bit of ice cream and lose weight and get results. It doesn't have to be a miserable, boring, crappy process.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. You don't want a bad relationship with food.
No. And that's the one thing we try and get people away from is, that good and bad food mentality, and just focus on purely calories in, calories out, which we've done really well, which is awesome. And then in terms of your approach to training nutrition previously versus moving forward, how has that now changed your outlook?
I do, because obviously I log everything. You sort of begin to think of things that, you enjoyed eating, but it wasn't, you just ate it because it was, I don't know, peanut butter and honey on toast as a snack. Now I sort of look at something like that, unless I'm like hungry or it's like legitimately going to be in my range of food that I can eat. Sometimes it's just not worth having that snack. It's worth having something else that's a little bit, better calorie wise or protein wise.
Yes.
Or something. Peanut butter was a huge thing for me, but now it's dropped back significantly because of how high in calories that it is.
Yeah.
It was just something I ate just because I was sitting on the couch watching something.
Yeah.
Not hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone has that aha moment when they try and eat something that they would usually eat before they started their diet, and they go, oh crap, it's actually so much calories for that one little serving.
Yes. Yeah. It's crazy on how much things you change your mindset on what you're eating and what you're thinking about what you're eating because of how many calories are in it.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. And and I think I was talking to you about this the other day, but with my wife, so she just started counting calories, and then she was putting in an avocado, and then she just realized how much it is for avocado versus the ice cream, and she's like, get rid of the avocado, and it's quote unquote clean, healthy foods, but it can be a lot of calories. And through, so far up until today, so you've lost weight, you've done the hard work. So people only see the good side of the transformation. So they see you before, they see you after, and then they'll watch this and they'll be like, oh, that looks really good, I might do that. What would you say has actually been the biggest struggle for you during the time that we've been training?
Sometimes motivation to get to the gym is probably one of the biggest things. And obviously sometimes you just want to eat something bad. So getting over that curve of going, no, it's not worth doing it, the results of showing more than what that's worth, is probably one of the hardest things.
Yeah.
If I was doing it on my own, like I'm lucky Kirk does he does the same thing as me, so he's not sitting there eating chocolates.
Yes.
Like last time.
Yeah.
Both of us, one of us would go off the rails and then it would shoot the other one down, and But now that we're both doing it together, I think it's really easy because of the support that we get from each other.
Yeah.
It helps. So that would have been a difficult thing, but in this case, not so much.
There's not so much, yeah. It definitely makes it much easier if everyone else is on board in their house. So if you try and diet when everyone else is eating chocolates and chips and lollies, it's just 10 times harder. And Kirk's done well. He's lost, 20 kilos.
Yeah,
He's fading away. Big couple. Do some like shirtless selfies. That'd be the UK photos on the beach.
On the beach, I think we'll be like rugged up in the
At least you come back and it'll be like blaring hot in summer here.
True. Good thing. Everybody ready.
So we've pretty much gone through everything. So for people who are sitting on the fence and they're unsure of either how to start or where to start, or if they're thinking about doing coaching, what would be your advice to them or your recommendation?
My recommendation is basically go chat to someone. Go see yourself. Go see one of their local gym or wherever they are. Is basically go in with an open mind. Don't think you know everything. You don't. I've learned a lot over this time, but like I'm still learning. Like I'm always going to be learning. There's always going to be something new, or some cookie diet, or something ridiculous. I think just go talk to someone. Definitely worth seeing a trainer once a week. You don't have to go all the time. Just get in and do it. I think it's definitely worth it. If I had known it was going to be this good, I would have done it a hell of a lot sooner.
Yes. That's what everyone says. And once they get there and they get the results, they're like, why did I do this sooner?
Like I said, I tried calorie counting. About 4 days, you'd work it out, and then one of us would do something naughty, and it just went to shit.
and that's normal. And the good thing is now, at least, because I mean, obviously you've gotten the results that you have, and you've come so far. At least the blowouts, even if you do have one, they're going to be nowhere near as severe as what they would have been prior.
Definitely. I mean, we've had a cheat day or two recently, and a normal cheat day, I guess, for us was, it could be 10 o'clock at night. We'd go down to Coles and spend $60 on just chocolates and cakes, and that would be gone in a night.
Yeah. And
now our cheat sort of would be just getting one thing and being like, whoa, that's a lot. It's dulled down a lot more than what it ever used to be, and that used to happen like 3 or 4 times a week. So it's depressing to say that actually happened, but now we can't even be bothered going down the street.
Yeah.
To go and get it, 'cause it's not something that just sits in the house anymore. So.
And it's one of those things that you can rely on your own laziness. So if it's not in the house and it's not readily available, you can be like, I'm too lazy. I'm not going to go to the shops and buy it. So if you don't want it, don't buy it.
It has to be really craving in there.
Yeah. Don't worry, I can attest to that too. My wife tries to sabotage my diet all the time. Shh, don't tell her I said that.
You shouldn't see this.
She's not here at the moment. She's out with the baby, but she'll probably watch it later. Cool. I think that's pretty much everything. Was there anything else that you wanted to add on top of that?
Other than like thanking you and recommending you. Especially I feel, especially you specialize, I reckon, in women's weight loss, and I think there's a lot of women out there that do want to lose weight, or at least tone up, or fix. Women always want to fix something about themselves. I just recommend for them to go out and talk to you and reach out to you, and hopefully they can get their results that they wanted to get as well.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that. All done, guys. All right, so we'll leave it there. So obviously, if you ever want to contact Jane for any reason and ask her about the coaching that we've done, I'm sure Jane will be happy to give me a quick shout out if ever need possible. But Jane was down pretty much 10 kilos. We lost about 7 to 8 centimeters around the waist. I think it's about 6 to 7 around the hips, roughly. And just to give you a rough idea, based in terms of strength, I mean, she was doing 17.5 kilo single arm overhead presses. Squats got up to about 50 kilos at the heaviest. And this was just within 5 months of training. So that's just to give you a rough idea of sort of how strong she got within the 5 months. And that was starting with light weights, really, really, really light weights. Cool. All right, guys, leave it there. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.